everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am feeling extremely dead inside because I just got back from a 9-hour shift. It's 8:04 a.m. I'm staying awake because number one, I didn't really want to forget anything about the book. Number two, my landlord for my apartment is actually coming today at noon and I can't go to sleep. So today we are going to be discussing City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. This is the second time that I've actually read this book, but I read it so long ago that I had completely forgotten what it was about. I can't really give a short summary of the plot because it's the 6th book in a series. So if you're interested in this book, go read City of Bones. This book, go read this one first, and then read the other ones, and then read this one, and then come back. That is the end of the non-spoiler section, so if you have not read the book, leave. So I'm just gonna start off by saying I marked so many pages on here. Look how many I stuck in. Look at, do you see that? Do you see how many? The yellow ones are the ones from last time and the orange ones are the one from this time. I knew it started off with Emma and Julian. However, I forgot that they got freaking attacked. They all go to Idris because it's not safe because Sebastian is just attacking all of the institutes. I love Magnus so much. He's like, "What are you doing here?" Simon said. "Came to see Alec," Magnus said. Clary raised her eyebrows at him. "What was that about teenagers?" Magnus held up a warning finger. "Don't overstep yourself, Biscuit." Magnus, what are you doing? They all go to Idris and then Izzy gives Simon her little necklace thing and because she misses him but she like doesn't want to admit it. And then later on when the necklace saves Simon because he goes to answer the door but then it starts like pulsing on his neck and he realizes that there's the Darkened coming to attack him and he makes a run for it, but then he gets kidnapped by Maureen and then oh my gosh, when he wakes up and he's wearing the leather pants and then he saw himself, he was wearing a flowing puffy white shirt. Even more troubling was the fact that he also appeared to be wearing a pair of very tight leather pants. Very tight. Very leather. I love this book so much. It was so much better the second time. Okay, first of all, I'm just gonna say the whole book, I was like 100% sure that Jordan was not dead because they never actually said that he died. Cassandra Clare doesn't actually show his death and glanced down at Jordan's body, which had gone still in her arms. "Your boyfriend's dead, by the way." I was like, but he went still in her arms, but he never actually, like, you never saw the body, you never saw what happened. Yeah, they had the funeral, but she missed the funeral. So I don't know. So the whole time I was like, he's alive, he's alive. And I got to the epilogue, the last like 10 pages, and I was like, where's Jordan? When Maya and Jordan go to the Prater Lupus place, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, and everyone's dead and it's on fire. And Sebastian's just there and he just stabs Jordan. So then Raphael helps Simon escape from the vampires and he goes to Alicante with Raphael to help like be his representative for the vampires and stuff. Izzy and Simon go into they're in Alec's room making out and then Alec walks in and he's like, "Oh my gosh," and he like tries to like get away really quickly and he like smacks his head on the wall and he's just like stumbling around and Izzy's just like, "Don't you knock," and he's like, "This is my bedroom." So Jace and Clary go into that fight. They're like, "You don't have enough people, like trust me, he's gonna slaughter you," and they're like, "No, it'll be fine." And they're so stupid. Like, why would you not listen to the person who literally was there when they were all created, saw it, experienced the fighting? Jace was like possessed. Like, why would you not believe them? And so they sneak through and then Jace has that like flipping out thing with his heavenly fire. He almost dies. Claire uses her rune to save him because she's freaking awesome. And then Zachariah, or Brother Zachariah, he goes to help and then he gets hit by the heavenly fire also. And so he's changed back. The part where Raphael gives Simon blood that has alcohol in it or blood of a drunk person and he gets really drunk and he goes to Izzy's house and starts yelling at him and just, "Izzy, I love you so much, I miss you," and she's all pissed off at him and Clary's like, "Simon, let's go," and Izzy's like, "Get out of here." When Clary gets home from Simon being all drunk and goes upstairs and Sebastian is in her room, oh my gosh, that literally freaked me out so bad. And then also Jace just knew to come. The clave is dumb, like so stupid. They piss me off so much. Like, I understand it's supposed to be like a people representative thing and it's supposed to be fair, but they're so stupid. Like Jocelyn, Luke, Magnus, Raphael, they all go to a party that is hosted by Meliorn, the fairy, and they all get kidnapped. Beforehand, Sebastian had said he was in league with the Seelie Queen. She was helping them spy on the ring things that Clary and Simon had. She was spying on them for Sebastian. And so they go to a fairy hosted event. They all disappear and the Cliff's like, I don't know who could have done it. Was it? Like, it's so stupid. That's why the Seelie Queen wanted Meliorn on the council, because he could lie. And they all get kidnapped and taken to Edom. Am I pronouncing it correctly? I think it's pronounced Edom. Okay, I literally get so sickened by Sebastian. He sickens me so much. Like literally, if he was my brother, I would murder him. He is so freaking creepy. I hate him. I literally like gag every single time he tries to kiss her or suggests that like he owns her, she belongs to him. There's a scene where Clary says, he laughed and he shoved me down. He was pulling at my clothes and reciting pieces of the Song of Solomon, telling me about how brothers and sisters used to marry to keep royal bloodlines pure, how I belonged to him. The fact that he can't be killed by anything except for the heavenly fire kind of confuses me. Maybe they explained it and I wasn't paying attention. I understand that it separated Jace from Sebastian, it cut their tie, but like why is it the only thing that can kill him? Because technically if their tie's cut, does that mean the only thing that can kill Jace is heavenly fire? Maybe someone can explain it for me, because I don't really get it. Because if it was Sebastian, then it should be with Jace also, but I don't think that's the case for Jace because he almost died. But he did almost die that one time because he was getting consumed by the heavenly fire. I forgot that Emma was the one who figured out where the entrance to Edom was, and they realized like, yeah, that is how they're going to get into Edom to save everyone. They're gonna go through the Seelie Court. Alec does not get enough appreciation. I know everyone really loves Malik, but does anyone like really just love Alec on their own? Like maybe it's just me, but I notice everyone is always obsessed with all the other characters and I feel like Alec doesn't even get that much love. Alec is just such a great character. But like here's the thing, like if he looks exactly like a fairy, he's gotta be like mostly fairy, right? Because no one really says he looks anything but like a fairy. Like Helen Blackthorne with her like her ears and like her weird hair and all that and her eyes, they notice that she's part fairy. Wouldn't you notice that he's part not fairy? It pissed me off so much at the end when all of the Clave voted that they should not come back for Mark, they should leave him be, even though Gia promised to Julian to look for him. They voted to stay away and not try and get them back. They voted to send Helen Blackthorne to that island in the middle of nowhere to make sure her loyalties lie with the Shadowhunters, even though they just fought in a gigantic war. She fought on their side. What are you doing? They voted against literally everything that I wanted. As I said, the Clave is so stupid. Maya becomes the pack leader because she kills the other guy who was challenging for that, because Bat was in charge and then he challenged Bat and then she challenged the guy who almost killed Bat. She made this alliance with Lily the vampire to kill Maureen with holy water in her veins. So then Jace freaks out and he has this gigantic heavenly fire thing, you know, flaming in the sky, and then Clary takes this heavenly fire and puts it into her sword that I cannot pronounce the name of. It's like Hesophoros. Raphael gets killed by Sebastian because he's like, kill Magnus. Raphael's like, I can't, and then Sebastian stabs Raphael. They find that scepter thing. Okay, it was really weird that Edom is like the parallel universe to Alicante, like where Shadowhunters, they had a different fate and they all died out and then demons took over. Like, it's so weird to think that if that Shadowhunters weren't alive, that is what the world would be like. All the Downworlders really hate the Shadowhunters, but like if they were not there, like you literally would be getting attacked by demons 24/7 and you have no way of killing them. You can only use angelic blades to kill them, and you can only use angelic blades if you have angel blood. So you have to be a Shadowhunter. Emma stays with Julian in the guard while all the fairies and the Endarkened are attacking the city. And then they all break into the room. Julian had to kill his own dad. So then Sebastian's like, Clary, if you want all your friends to live, you're gonna take this throne. And Clary's like, I have to do it. And then everyone's like, Clary, don't do it, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I have to. Sebastian shatters the portal to Alicante. stuck there forever, and she stabs him with the heavenly fire sword that she kept a secret the whole time. He goes back to being regular. He becomes a good person in the end. His eyes are green, not black anymore, and tells Jace how to stop all of the Endarkened people, how her mom cries over him every single year because she just misses her son, and then she finally gets her son and he's taken away from her. I wish we could have gotten to see more of regular Jonathan. He had to die, you know, like it wouldn't have been satisfying. He seemed like he was trapped inside there that whole time and just had Sebastian over him, and he finally was like released. Kind of like how when Jace was possessed by Sebastian in the last book, how he was like Jace on the inside but he was like other Jace on the outside, like kind of like that. That's how it feels. So then Magnus uses his father's ability. He hates his father so much, but he calls on him because he knows that is the only way to get them out of Edom, and he offers up his own immortality. He's gonna get all of his hundreds of years on him at once and die. Magnus is such a non-giving person, you know, like in the beginning he's all about himself, but then in the end he acts like he's only doing it because he's dating Alec, but in reality like he actually really cares for these people. Simon offers up his own immortality because he's only been immortal for like half a year or so, and he takes that, but he has to take all of Simon's memories because that's what he wants, and they let him, and Clary is just so upset, and I feel so bad for Izzy because she was finally accepting that she really loved Simon, and then he was taken away from her. She couldn't tell him, you know, anything about anything, who she was. Finally, Clary approaches him, gets that flyer, and they're called the Mortal Instruments, their band. All of their hilarious band names I love so much, but they're called the Mortal Instruments. They take it as a sign, like, we can tell him because he remembers something. The reason why they told him all this stuff was because they needed more shadow hunters. They were converting people, they were making them ascend, and they were like, hey, if you want to be a shadow hunter, you can ascend, but it's your choice. I literally forgot. Does that mean Simon is a shadow hunter? Is he in Lady Midnight? Don't tell me. They're at the wedding and everything is so cute, and Simon shows up because Isabel invited him and surprises Clary, and he's like, I know who you are, you're Clary, you're my best friend. And then Tessa shows up and is talking to Clary, and then Jem just takes Church and just like steals him. It's just such a cute ending with everyone dancing and being happy, and they're at a wedding. I mean, it's a great ending. Magnus and Alec are back together. This book was so good. There were so many funny moments in it. There's so many shocking and dramatic and so many plot twists that I did not see coming. Even though this is the second time I've read it, I laughed so hard. I didn't cry, but that's because I don't cry very easily for books. I would like to hear any comments that anyone else has about this book, any moments you found funny or shocking or disturbing or anything. I mean, feel free to share below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!